I just found out my boyfriend is married and now I'm pregnant. So I'm going to ruin his life.
A little tit for tat.
Hey, that's what we need more in this world. Tits. So I know how the title sounds, but hear me out. I, 26 female, started dating my now boyfriend, 35 male. We have been dating for 7 months. A month ago, he told me that he had to talk to me about something important. I honestly thought maybe he wanted to break up with me, but what he said was so much worse.
It always is.
My boyfriend sat me down and said that there was a problem. The problem being he's falling in love with me. When he said that, I was so confused. I didn't understand what the problem was. We don't understand either. I asked him why that was a problem, and that's when he told me that he's actually married and has been divorced.
I wonder why.
And that he lied about his age. He's actually 42, 7 years older. That's old as fuck.
Hey, do you want to date a 42-year-old right now?
I mean,
uh-oh.
I sat there shocked. I didn't know what to say. When I finally came out of the shock, I grabbed my stuff and told him, never call or text me ever again.
Get out.
Take your walker with you. He tried saying what most cheaters do, that I was different. His wife and him hadn't been happy in a really long time and was considering divorce. Considering divorce ain't divorce, is it though?
Divorce, babe, divorce.
Why don't you consider it before you engage in the relationship?
I still grabbed my stuff and left, and I didn't think twice about it.
There we go.
Good for you, OP. You got some standards.
Go off, queen.
The problem came about 2 weeks ago. My period was 2 months late. 2 months. Ladies, I would love to know, when do you get worried about when your lateness is? I wasn't worried because I am extremely irregular. Okay. But after being late for a second month, I decided to take a EPT, which is an emergency pregnancy test. And it was positive.
Oh.
I thought maybe it was a false positive and took 6 more tests. Damn, that's expensive, bro. Pregnancy tests are like $50.
Run it back.
And they were all positive. Don't ask me why I know that pregnancy tests are $50. I was so upset. I cried out of shock and anger because of the situation as a whole. I called my now ex-boyfriend and he didn't respond. I texted him telling him we need to talk, and radio silence. After days of calling and texting, he finally answered the phone and asked if I was pregnant. He didn't think it was his, and he said to stop texting and calling, and hung up.
What happened to all this? I
want to be together. I'm so in love with you.
Stop it.
I was livid. How dare he? I wasn't the one lying and cheating. Now being pregnant, I would have to explain to my family the real reason I broke up with him and tell them I'm pregnant. Fast forward to Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, OP. My family and I went out to dinner Saturday night to celebrate. I'm about 12 weeks along in my pregnancy and have to pee all the time. As I was walking to the bathroom, I saw my lying, cheating hooker of an ex, and he was there with his family and friends, and based on his body language, his wife.
Ooh, here we go.
Cooking up something good in the kitchen.
Yup.
I was so hurt and angry about everything, rightfully so, OP. I didn't think before acting. I went to their table. Oh no.
I'm loving this.
I introduced myself. I told everyone at the table what happened from start to finish. Showed them pictures of us together and text. And as a final note, I announced my pregnancy before leaving the table. And I grabbed his drink and I threw it at him.
I love it.
Yo, that is fucking heat. That is fucking heat, OP. I hope he's rich, and I hope the child support is oodles and oodles.
Yeah.
I then looked over at his wife, and she was bawling. I felt bad, but I was so hurt and angry. So, did I take it too far? Am I the a-hole? Should I have done things differently? And there is an update, John. There is an update. But please tell me in the comments, would you have taken it, like, would you have taken it as far as OP? Also, would you even have thought to do that? Because that was chef's kiss, orchestrated.
Well done.
Tell me what you would do in this situation if you saw your cheating, lying, dirty whore of an ex and, I guess, baby daddy in a restaurant with his wife. What would you do? But John, what would you do before we get into this update?
I don't know. I don't know if I would have done that, but I'm here for it, honestly.
Hey, but honestly, like, if you could also think about it, like, she's doing a service to this woman too.
She is, and it's like at the end of the day, it's like, oh, like, you know, why would you make the wife cry like that? The husband the husband is the reason why all this happened.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so his wife reached out to me and wanted to meet up. I met up with her because I felt like it was the least I could do after everything that happened. She thanked me for everything I did and said. She let me know she filed for divorce. She had enough of the lies and the cheating. I was one of many over the time of their marriage. She told me I was the first woman to actually present pictures, a pregnancy test, and ultrasound, and felt I was being genuine about what happened. I apologized, saying I never wanted to embarrass her. I was just so angry and I saw red. I told her if I had known he was married, I would have never dated him. She told me not to worry and believed me, especially with what I did when I saw him. She apologized to me for everything he did. This woman is a freaking saint and deserves better. We cried about everything we've been through and comforted each other through the mess he created. I felt so much better having a heart-to-heart with her and wish her the best. It was no surprise that he came looking for me, begging me to forgive him. Because now he lost his wife. He was like, all right, I got to go to the mistress.
Oh my god.
That's carrying my freaking child. I told him to get lost, and I never wanted to see him again, especially after saying the baby was not his. I wasn't surprised he tried to come back, especially after his wife filed for divorce. When it comes to the baby, there is also an update. After a lot of thinking, I have decided to keep my baby. Unfortunately, I was having some issues with bleeding due to the fetus not being fully attached properly to my uterine wall. After being on bed rest this past week, bleeding got worse, and I lost my baby. Yeah. After having this miscarriage, it's been a very difficult time. I know everything happens for a reason, but it really hurts. I have a lot of guilt surrounding the miscarriage because I wanted an abortion, so I partially blame myself. Don't do that, OP.
Yeah, no. Don't deserve that.
So now I'm just taking some time to heal and grieve my baby. Thank you for all the advice and the comments. Holy shit, that was a doozy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what you would have done in this situation.
Please.
Would you have taken back this cheating ex that is your baby daddy? Would you have done anything differently? Put your answers in the comments. John, one final verdict.
Yes, I do not think OP is the a-hole, and even more so after hearing in the update how like the now ex-wife, came to her and they were able to kind of like basically support each other in this moment, which was actually great to see. So obviously the boyfriend ex whatever, like just clearly the a-hole.
So bad.
Pretty much the only a-hole in this whole story.
Which is rare. Which is rare. Only one a-hole.
My psycho sister is obsessed with my boyfriend. I think she might try to steal him from me. What do I do?
Get a uglier boyfriend.
So I, female 23, have been dating my current boyfriend, male 28, for 4 months, and I'm totally smitten.
He's an old man.
My boyfriend is the sweetest, smartest, kindest, most caring guy I have ever met, and I feel so lucky to have found him. We met at the start of the new semester at our university. He's a graduate student that was running a tutoring group that I joined. I'm a senior getting my bachelor's. We hit it off immediately and found out that we had a ton in common, including the same hometown.
Nice.
We even went to the same high school, although we never met previously. Yeah, because you're
Makes
a
sense,
baby.
'cause he's old as fuck.
Wah. He graduated the year before I started my freshman year, but he was in the same grade as my sister. I asked if he knew her, and he said yes.
How well did you know her?
Oh, God. But they hadn't kept in touch since graduation. We spent the last 4 months growing super close, and we were talking about maybe bringing each other to our family holiday celebration. We didn't get to do Thanksgiving, but we decided to do Christmas together, and I was so excited. I hadn't told my parents or sister I was seeing anyone, so I decided to call them and let them know to make sure that it wasn't an issue if he came to our Christmas celebration this year.
Ooh, a boy's coming over for Christmas. That's big. That's big news bears.
My mom was super excited for me when I told her all about my boyfriend, and my dad said he sounded like a nice young man, and he would be glad to meet him.
Middle-aged man, a nice middle-aged man, 28, 1 foot in the grave. Come on.
I then called my sister and I told her the news, and even joked that it would be a little high school reunion for her. She was initially very excited to meet my new boyfriend, but when I told her who it was, her mood changed dramatically.
I think there's some history.
She told me she would not be comfortable having a stranger at her family's Christmas.
He ain't no stranger. For sure.
And my sister said that she was sorry, but he can't come.
I think you can. Inside of me.
I was a bit shocked and asked her to explain because she's very outgoing and never had a problem with strangers before. This isn't the first boyfriend that one of us has brought home for the holidays. I asked if she had not liked him in high school or something, and that's why she didn't want him to come. She said no, and that she, barely even remembered him. Like, who is he? Like,
who is he?
Oh my God.
All I remember is how ginormous his heart was.
I asked if she would feel better meeting him before Christmas so it's not overwhelming on the actual holiday. She got really firm and told me that she didn't want to meet him before, during, or after Christmas, and to drop it, and then she hung up on me.
I mean, she's going to have to meet him eventually if it keeps going, right?
That is so true. So what are we going to do? Like,
just never meet this dude? Come on.
Never, yeah. At the wedding, she'll just be like sitting at home just like,
ew, no, I don't want to talk to you.
He's still a stranger to me. I haven't met him before. I hate strangers. She texted me a little later that it was rude of me to keep trying to force her to meet someone she doesn't want to and hopes I won't bring it up again. This makes no sense.
Bro, it's her boyfriend. Like, if it goes anywhere, they're going to have to meet.
Yeah, it's just... God, this makes no sense. I asked my mom about it, but she's just as confused as I am and said she would talk to her for me. I obviously won't bring it up to my boyfriend if it makes my sister uncomfortable. I just wish that she would give me a good reason, especially since she basically said she never wants to meet him. I am just so confused. Am I the a-hole? I talked to my boyfriend last night and he also seems confused. I asked him to please be honest with me and to let me know if anything went on between them just running in the same circles. He told me no, and they had only ever hung out in groups. She was really more of a friend, and he had a long-term girlfriend he committed to throughout high school, so he didn't even hook up with her. She also never bullied him, and from his perspective, he never bullied her. He said that they always had a friendly/civil relationship and never so much as got into an argument. He doesn't know what her issue is with him. There's obviously more to the story from my sister's side, so I have to try to speak to her again, possibly in a few days when I go home for the holidays. Sam, there is an update coming up.
Oh, thank God.
There is an update. Yes, thank God.
All right, my position stays the same. OP is not the a-hole, and the sister slept with OP's boyfriend.
Yeah, because
or had a massive crush, because maybe the boyfriend actually is telling the truth, and she just had a massive crush that was like never reciprocated. I could see that being a thing too.
There's only one way to get to the bottom of that.
This show was sponsored by your sweet, sexy ass.
If you support our Patreon, you'll get one long, hard, extra bonus episode every week.
I'm talking 3 juicy stories right into those ear holes.
You'll get ad-free episodes. I'm talking all of those ads completely off. All natural.
Not to mention, we'll do it together, live, in front of a camera. With Assholes Anonymous, you'll get a chance to talk to us directly and maybe be featured on the YouTube channel.
Wait, Sam, not like that. Like, the fans get to share their stories with us and other fans, and we get to talk about it, right?
And then we'll moon each other at the end.
Oh, God.
So if you want all that ass, support your boys at patreon.com/OKOP show.
That's patreon.com/OKOP show.
Update. That night, I ended up messaging my sister's childhood best friend to see if she knew anything about my boyfriend.
Oh, she's doing some investigative journalism now.
I played it as, did you know my boyfriend in high school? Rather than, what the fuck is my sister's problem? Smart choice.
Smart.
She confirmed his name and then asked if my sister knew yet. We're starting to get somewhere. X on the map. A red flag went up and I said yes, and she doesn't seem happy. She then asked to call me. And a lot of you were right. My sister was obsessed with my boyfriend from 7th grade all the way up until they graduated and went to college in different states. 7 years of your childhood too. I asked her if there was more to it than that because I can't believe my grown sister would act this way over a little crush. And she told me it wasn't a little crush. She was legit in love love with him. Since she said in love, I asked if my boyfriend knew or if anything had happened between them. And she said that as far as she knew, he didn't know and they for sure had never hooked up, to my sister's extreme displeasure.
Oh, wow. So it's like basically OP has finally gotten what the sis always wanted.
Yeah, that must be what it is, you know.
Yikes. That sucks.
That must be what it is. She pined for him for years and was devastated when he started dating one of their other friends freshman year. She would show up to his work with other guys, only go to parties if she knew he was going, hooked up with his best friend to try to make him jealous, and once even tried to break him and his girlfriend up.
Wow. Okay. OP's sister is crazy.
Yeah, she's a maniac.
Full on psycho.
Whew. When my boyfriend and his then girlfriend did eventually break up senior year, my sister thought it was her big moment, but he never even gave her a second glance. Apparently, she still held a small torch for him all these years still, and her friend says she thinks that she would still want to be with him if he would have her, and she's probably just jealous.
This is kind of crazy because you know the sister is going to be after this dude the whole relationship.
That's the thing, is like...
That's what's crazy. Like, this is like not a small obsession. Like, now that this dude is in her life, dude, I'm like worried for the relationship. I'm just worried for the relationship if the sister's, like, it sounds like the sister's going to try to sabotage it.
I'm going to try to talk to her one more time and let her know that I know about her crush and hopefully we could deal with this like adults. My sister did end up calling me the next day and asked to come over to speak with me. When she got to my parents, she looked very sheepish and immediately apologized for acting crazy and shutting me down for bringing my boyfriend without talking to me first. A little more reasonable now. Okay.
She's probably just shocked, you know?
Probably, yeah.
Still, though, still kind of crazy.
Still kind of crazy. I thanked her for apologizing and asked her to explain her reasoning in her own words. My sister finally admitted her huge crush, and she just felt weird that the guy that she liked so much never noticed her, but noticed her little sister and just felt a little icky about the whole situation. She didn't want to be around him as it would make her feel like that desperate, insecure teenager all over again, and she was super embarrassed by her teenage self. Also,
that makes sense.
Better. I asked if she still had feelings for my boyfriend, and she chuckled and said, nah, that ship has long sailed, and she really truly is happy in her current relationship. So she's in a relationship.
Okay, good. That's good.
Her boyfriend also knows everything about the situation as she confided in him. She doesn't want to face my boyfriend knowing how intense her feelings were, and she feels there's no way that he couldn't have noticed. I assured her he said that he has no bad memories of her and is interested in getting to know my sister with a clean slate. My sister said she would try to move past her discomfort and is looking forward to seeing us both at Christmas. So with that, my boyfriend did end up coming to Christmas, and it was great. My sister gave him a bit of an awkward greeting and they didn't interact a ton, but we all played games together and my parents loved him. My boyfriend was super nice to my sister and he said that he didn't feel uncomfortable in the slightest. It was honestly so lovely, and I feel like the awkwardness my sister is feeling will fade with time. She texted me after her and her boyfriend left that we made a great couple, and she was again sorry for almost ruining my Christmas. I told her that I forgive her and I love her always.
Wow. Okay,
there you go.
It kind of all worked out. It all worked out. I was worried, though. I was worried they boned, or I was worried that she was still going to be obsessed, but sounds like that wasn't the case.
Totally. So I'm very curious for everyone listening here. What would you do? Your childhood crush that you obsessed over dates your sibling. You know, what do you do in that scenario?
Also, how do you tell your crush? I mean, like, what do people do like when with crushes? Do you tell your crush?
I mean, I had I'm talking middle school. Actually, probably maybe only middle school. But I guess anyone you ask out is also someone. Well, a crush is kind of like a specific specific thing.
I guess anyone you ask out, that's kind of basically like you had a crush and then you're like, yo, what's up?
Yes, but also it's like I feel like it's like if you go up to someone at house party at a bar or even like Tinder, that's not really a crush because you haven't been able to like develop some sort of knowing them a little bit.
But
even knowing of
I
them.
like the idea. I think that's true. I do think though one of the best ways to meet people is through friends or maybe through a friendship first.
That is, yeah. I feel like house parties of friends
House
that you
parties.
like really vibe with, because all of their mutuals are going to, you know,
Yeah, it's
have
like
similar tastes.
it's a filter right there. It's a filter right there.
Exactly. Exactly.
I banned my homophobic grandma from my wedding. Now she's furious and still homophobic. Am I the asshole?
I'm getting married, and when I was on call with my grandmother, 75, she was super excited to come, and I was excited to have her there. I'm her oldest grandchild, so we have a special relationship. But a few days ago, she learned that my sister, my maid of honor, is gay, and I invited her girlfriend. She was furious about the gay thing and told me that either I uninvite the girlfriend or she doesn't come, and I immediately said that if that's the way she thinks, I don't want her there.
You gave me the option, Granny. You can't be mad at me now.
Now, my whole family is telling me to just uninvite the girlfriend and re-invite my grandma. Sounds bad, but I, my fiance, my sister, and her girlfriend live in one apartment now. They lost an apartment for 2020 reasons. And the girlfriend has basically been my roommate for 6 months now. I'm very close to her, closer than my granny actually, and I really want her there. My family's opinion is that I'm the a-hole. So there's a couple edits and an update. But before we get into that, John, what do you think? Is OP the a-hole or nah?
Bro, not at all. Even if you want to side with the homophobic grandma, which you shouldn't. This is OP's wedding.
I'm Eastern European, and homophobia is still very present here. That's why the family's okay with Granny's behavior, even though they love my sister and tolerate her girlfriend. It's all around them. Edit 2, I was never considering uninviting the girlfriend. The question is, am I the asshole for uninviting grandma rather than letting her make the decision? And finally, the updates. As many of you suggested, I told my sister and her girlfriend. My sister was mad that I didn't tell her sooner, but we ended up agreeing that grandma and one more relative actually are not invited and no way back. Turned out Granny and especially the other relatives were bullying them on Facebook and other social media, but mostly Facebook, and were outing them online. Apparently, both have been messaging my sister to verbally abuse her since she came out, and she didn't want to tell me for the same reason I didn't tell her about the wedding stuff. So I'm no longer questioning who the here is. So I asked mods to stop the comments because my dumb has no idea how to do that. Thank you to everyone who believes my granny can change, and I will keep trying with her after the wedding.
Don't have to deal with the BS of having her at the wedding. And 2, you can still try to work with her, you know what I mean? To try and get her over, like, to see reason and stop being homophobic.
Stop being homophobic. This is a PSA from Sam and John.
Yeah.
Stop it. Look down to your genitals. Bam. Those are the genitals on screen.
That's right.
Embrace the genitals.
Share your thoughts on this video. What would you do if you were in OP shoes? And we just might read it.
That we might.